Thailand set for a national election by early February after Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul dissolved Parliament amid threats of a no-confidence vote. For more on those elections coming up in Thailand, we're joined by Kevin Hewison. He is a Weldon Thornton Distinguished Emeritus Professor of Asian Studies at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and he joins us from Bangkok. Professor Hewison, one would imagine it's unusual for a government facing clashes on the border to call for elections that could happen as early as February 1st next year.
Yes, it is unusual. Usually when there's a national crisis, governments want stability. But in this case, Anutin seems to have decided that this is his best chance of getting his best result in an election.
And that's because, given all the other factors, he has relative strength now, both within his party and relative to other parties.
Yes, I think so. I mean, he's well in control of his own party, and there have been some defections from other parties to his party, the Phumjai Thai party. But if we go back just a couple of weeks, he was getting plenty of criticism for his slow and uncoordinated response to the deadly floods in the south. And he was getting lots of criticism because of the connections between scammers in Cambodia and other parts of Southeast Asia and Thailand, and indeed into his right up to the level of ministers in his government. But that, with the skirmishes and the war on the border now, those sorts of criticisms have all gone, and Anutin is playing very much a nationalist, loyalist card, and he believes that he will do well in an election using that nationalist push, that he's the one who's strong on the borders. He will look better than his opponents.
And these opponents now, so People's Party, in fact, its disagreement with Phumjai Thai is what could have triggered this dissolution of Parliament. The disagreement over how they're progressing in terms of changing the constitution, that's one thing. And as far as Pheu Thai goes, what Mr. Anutin has done in just the last few weeks, the last few months, in fact, since coming to office, he has in several significant ways cut off crucial power for Pheu Thai.
Yes, well, we'll take Pheu Thai first. The main person, of course, behind the Pheu Thai party is Thaksin Shinawatra. He's now languishing in jail, and that means that he's going to have great difficulty in financing and promoting his party's image. He's still the most popular politician in Pheu Thai, but he can't do anything from where he is at the moment in prison. So they're in a difficult spot. Turning to the People's Party, they did the deal that made Anutin Prime Minister for this interim period until an election which was planned for somewhere around March next year. But they've fallen out over constitutional reform, where Anutin, whose party controls effectively a large number of senators, those senators were given a position in controlling constitutional reform, in fact, in blocking constitutional reform. And that last night led to the falling out and the breaking down of the agreement between the People's Party and Phumjai Thai. But even before that, Anutin was preparing for an early election. He was waiting for the time when he felt that by going to an election, he could do better than his opponents.
So whether the elections are held early February or, say, late March, you think those few weeks would make a signal difference for Mr. Anutin?
It depends a little bit on how the border war goes, but a few weeks in Thai politics is a long time these days. We've had 2 decades of political turmoil in Thailand, and Anutin, his period has been pretty shaky and it's been punctuated by several crises, which weren't making his election chances any better. So the war on the border is the thing that has really worked in his interests, in his electoral interests. So I think it does make a difference, because whether the war is over, whether the Trump call makes a difference this evening, he still can portray himself as a strong leader who protects Thailand's sovereignty. And that nationalist card does play well in Thailand.
Well, how strong would he look, given that he has openly and repeatedly said he has given his support and delegated authority to the Thai military on all matters related to this border clash?
Yes, he has indeed done that, but so did the previous government. Pae Tong Tan's Pheu Thai-led government did the same thing. The military, of course, is very strong in Thailand. It's very strong politically. And any move that it makes, including deciding to go to the war on the border, has to be considered also in terms of domestic politics. But the military certainly would, in my estimation, prefer a government led by Mr. Anutin and by the Pheu Thai party. They're the ones who are considered loyalist and the ones who are most conservative, unlikely to reform things like the constitution, which the People's Party is pushing for. So I think the military makes him look stronger, and his support from the military makes him stronger in terms of domestic politics.
Oh, thanks for joining us this evening, Professor Kevin Hewison from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.